Hey guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to Zelda News. I'm your host Bastian, and don't forget it's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Actually, this came from the Zelda Symphony I went to just last week, Symphony of the Goddesses here in Portland, Oregon, and they were handing these out. Now, of course, you recognize this as the wooden sword that the old man gives you right in that very first cave in the original Legend of Zelda, but on the flip side, it's an advertisement for Hyrule Historia, so that's pretty cool. So our first story is about some amazing Zelda backpacks and handbags. Basically, this Etsy artist creates these by hand and sells them. So if you need a Highland Shield backpack, you can pick one up. She also makes Highland Shield handbags or shoulder bags. I don't know what the terminology is, but for girls, as well as various other Zelda themed sort of bags for females, like a heart container bag and so on. So if you want to check those out, there's a link for you down below. Mr. Aonuma confirms that yes, the Oracle games will be releasing here in North America before summer. So basically during spring, during these next 3 months. So that'll be pretty awesome. If you've never played the Oracle games, they are really good actually, and they connect in really interesting ways. You use passwords to sort of connect them, and you can sort of play them in either order that you want, and if you play them both and connect them, you get a surprise final boss. It's pretty exciting stuff. You're definitely going to want to play those when they're released this spring. Speaking of the Oracle games, we just recently found out an interesting piece of information about them, which is that, well, at least for me it was new and interesting, which is that originally when they were developed, they were meant to be episodic. Mr. Miyamoto says that they were going to try to do DLC before DLC existed. Basically, they were going to sell each dungeon individually. So you would pay a very small price for the first part of the game, and then you'd get to buy the next dungeon in that area. Of course, they decided to scrap this idea, but he says they're still considering maybe utilizing that in the future. So it may very well be that at some point we will get, like, the next Zelda game might be free for the first part of the adventure, and then you'll have to keep buying each chunk to download or something. Or maybe after you've completed the game, they'll sell additional dungeons for us to play. So that would be pretty cool. There's an amazing article series called The Anatomy of Zelda II. It sort of breaks Zelda II: The Adventure of Link down into its very basic form and analyzes everything that went into that game and what made it so different from not only the original Legend of Zelda, but future Zelda games. It's really a very fascinating read if you're into that kind of thing. There's a link for you down below, and that's it for this episode of Zelda News, tomorrow's Nintendo News. See you then, guys. Bye.